Hello everyone, this is Ming Lei from Alibaba Cloud database team. So today we will talk about the serverless revolution, and we will also discuss why now is the best time for you to choose Alibaba Cloud database, choose our serverless capabilities to support your business. So for years, database forces us to choose between scale and simplicity, power, and or affordability. Today, the trade-off ends. Let's talk about why serverless isn't just the future, but it's the only way forward. First, what is database service? Database service is not a specific kind of database engines, but instead, database service is fully abstract the underlying infrastructure. Users only pay for the resource they consume, so it can help to eliminate the overhead of managing service. Serverless database can bring our users with many benefits, including lower cost, increasing scalability and elasticity, as well as the agility for faster development. And serverless database is suitable for a wide range of scenarios, including those microservice architecture, event-driven applications, and SaaS platforms. Also in Alibaba Cloud, we're shaping our serverless capabilities to support those mission-critical workload with high availability and fast response to the dynamic workload. So why serverless? There's several reasons. The first reason is definitely the cost efficiency. For serverless databases, there's no upfront cost. You only pay for what you use, and it can help to saving a lot of costs for workloads with variable demand. And the second reason is the automatic scaling. For serverless database, it can do automatic scale to handle traffic spikes and luls. There's no manual interventions necessary, so that it can help to eliminate the need of capacity planning and manual scaling. During the scaling, there's no downtime or even no business impact for your applications. The third benefit is the simplified operations. The serverless database is fully managed, so there's no need for infrastructure management because it's all handled by public cloud vendors. It can help to reduce DevOps overhead, allowing you to focus more on your application logic to serve your customer instead of database administrations. The fourth benefit is flexibility for modern workloads. Serverless database is ideal for event-driven applications and architectures. It can support different kinds of workload, including e-commerce, IoT, gaming, and so on. It's also quite suitable for those development and test environment for cost savings, and it can help those startups growing with uncertain growth patterns. So talking about the evolution of serverless databases in Alibaba Cloud, so we see first it's a legacy architecture. In the legacy way, you buy servers, you buy storage, and then install them, make them online. So all the resource is pre-provisioned and fixed. You pay the resource by hour, and there's no elasticity for your applications. And then in the second phase, which introduce cloud native. In this phase, the resource is still pre-provisioned, but the cloud native enable you with more flexible capacity. That means you can dynamic change your capacity based on the requirement of your workload. In this phase, you still pay by hours, and you need to do some manual operations to do the scaling either scaling up, scaling down, or scaling out, scaling in. And then when we come to the initial phase of service, the service V1, we see the resource provision change from pre-provision to provision on demand. It can auto-scale based on the resource requirement of your workload. And in this phase, you no longer pay by hour, instead pay per use by second. But in this phase, you're still facing some challenge. For example, the response is not that enough for your dynamic workload. So sometimes the resource scaling may be a bit slower than your dynamic resource. And during this time, your application may suffer from insufficient resource and give your customer with some bad experience. So we evolution from V1 to V2. In serverless V2, the scaling get more smooth. And based on the scaling, based on your resource, dynamic resource, as well as the capacity predictions, the resource scaling can be much more fast and accurate, precise compared to the V1. In this phase, we can guarantee the high availability as well as the hit list during the scaling. So that's the evolution of serverless. In Alibaba Cloud, we embracing cloud native and serverless technology. For example, as I mentioned just now, based on the evolution of serverless for our database, right now the resource allocation, the provision is much more elastic and flexible compared to before. So we allocate the resource exactly based on your application, your business requirement. And also we introduce different kind of service. For example, here in the right side, you can see there's two kind of service. In the bottom is the all service model. Also, you can consider it as pure service. So all the resource provision is exactly based on the requirement, the dynamic requirement of your application. But for some mission critical production environment, users may choose the above one we call pre-provision or predefined resource plus service. That means you can pre-provision some resource. For example, you pre-provision a 4 CPU cores, 32 GB memory instance for your application. So this specification may already enough for maybe 95% or even 99% of time of your application. But when there's application, the workload spike, we can use serverless to fast allocate, provision more resource for you to support those spike. After the spike, we can do automatically scale down for your resource. So this pre-provision plus service model already support a lot of our customer with the mission critical business on us. We in Alibaba Cloud, we are continuously shaping our architecture to support better flexibility and elasticity of our databases. Here we can see the evolution of our database architecture from the resource type couple to resource decouple, and from the 2-layer resource decouple to 3 layers resource decouple. Alibaba Cloud Database PolarDB is the first cloud database engines that enable our customer with a 3-layer decoupling architecture. In PolarDB, we introduce a CPU, memory, and storage layer decoupling, a 3-layer decoupling. So based on our latest architecture infrastructure, we can build a storage pool, memory pool, as well as a CPU pool in our PolarDB infrastructure. That means our customer can use our database serverless capabilities in PolarDB to allocate different kind of resource, CPU, memory, storage freely, exactly based on their business requirement. So this gives our customer not only a very good performance, but also very good availability, flexibility, and elasticity. So right now, Alibaba Cloud database portfolio already there's a lot of database service already support the service right now. So for example, start from RDS, we introduced service in 2022, and then followed by our Lingdong service, which is a multimodal database engine. And then in 2023, our PolarDB as well as AnalDB, two of our proprietary database engines, start to support the service. And then followed by our ClickHouse as well as the DTS, our data transmission service, data utilities to help you to do the data migration as well as data synchronization between different locations, between different database engines. So right now, most of our database service already provide the service capabilities for our customers. And we are still continuously shaping the service capabilities to provide a much higher flexibility, elasticity, and cost efficiency for our customer. Okay, I think that's the part of my that's the part of mine. So now that we have seen the why of database service, let's dive into the how. Next, you will learn that effortless scale in database rarely looks like beginning from our Apsara DB RDS. Thank you very much.